that everybody here can easily understand.
Welcome to part 2 of my year celebration of being on YouTube and birthday and pickups and whatever. This is part 2. This is my second-hand lot. I mean, I've mentioned in previous videos I don't normally like buying second-hand Blu-rays, but I have soon discovered that I have no money, and basically if I wanted to upgrade some of the DVDs I had to Blu-ray, it might be best just to, you know, maybe go for the ones that I'm not too bothered about having second-hand. Luckily, all the ones I've managed to pick up are in excellent condition. I discovered recently, and I've lived here for nearly 4 years now, that there's a CEX in Gravesend. I did not know this. I don't know why I didn't ever think to check. I just assumed there wasn't. I don't know why, but anyway. So I know a lot of you guys talk about CEX, and there is some very good deals. I mean, I've picked up a lot of these for very, very cheap, and so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to take all the ones, all my DVDs that I want to upgrade to Blu-ray. I still have a few that I haven't got yet because I just can't get hold of them in the CEX. I've been to a couple of CEXs, but I'm just going to put these all in as one because I can't be able to say I went to this CEX to get that and that, and it's just too much. So anyway, yeah, I went into CEX and got about maybe £250 worth in CEX vouchers because I took so many Blu-rays in. I don't think the DVDs in. I don't think the woman was too happy with me when I took in these bags of DVDs. But yeah, it took her like an hour to get through them. But anyway, this will be my second-hand update, and here we go. So first one is 28 Days Later, and these are all going to be in like alphabetical order because I just took them out of my collection because I couldn't be bothered to kind of organise when I got them all. These are all just in the last 2 months. So 28 Days Later, very good zombie film. Again, I saw this in the cinema with my mates years and years and years ago. Wasn't too thrilled about it. I think at the time I didn't understand it too much. I don't know why I didn't understand it because I was like 18, 19 when I saw it, and I thought, this is my kind of film. Rewatched it when it came out on DVD, and I just enjoyed it so much more. I liked the characters, I liked where it was going. It was a very impressive film. Next film is, again, a film I really enjoy, a very different vampire film. Very different, you know. A lot of them are all of the same kind of idea. This just was different. I liked where it went. You know, the vampires were very creepy. Didn't speak unless they spoke in their dialect or whatever it was. And it's just a very interesting film. Again, some people give this a lot of slack. I don't get why. 30 Days of Night. Josh Hartnett, again, I mentioned earlier, fantastic actor and very good in this. Again, this deserves a lot more recognition than it gets. Very good film. This next one's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I actually prefer the second one because this is a box set. I prefer the second one more than the first, even though they're both very badly slated. And that is the Alien vs Predator collection. Again, I got this from CEX, and in excellent. I mean, the slipcover is excellent condition, and everything was just in great condition. So I thought I'd get this because you know I like aliens, I like predators. I didn't really like Alien vs Predator as much, but I like the sequel. I don't know why I like the sequel more. I just like the sequel more. But yeah, it was a good pickup, and it was very cheap. It was like £8 or something like that. So yeah, glad I got this one. Next film, a film I've only seen once but thoroughly enjoyed. Again, I do like my gangster films. American Gangster. Denzel Washington in this is absolutely amazing. And even Russell Crowe is good in this. I'm saying I do like Russell Crowe. I don't know why I'm saying even Russell Crowe. The only film I think he was just a little bit miscast for was like Les Miserables, I think. But not really my kind of film. But anyway, this, very good film. A film that I love, a comedy I absolutely adore. Haven't seen the sequel yet. A little bit dubious to see it. But I did want to see it, and I've heard a few things, and now I'm not too sure because I do love the original because it was very funny at the time, and that is Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Great cast, and it's just a very entertaining, funny film. Next is a film, again, I haven't watched for a long time, but I really enjoyed it, and it's annoyed me now because they've just brought out a re-release of it, and a steelbook. And I picked this up just before they did that, and that is Braveheart, because I missed the original steelbook, so I decided I'll get this. Again, very, very historically inaccurate, but very enjoyable. Mel Gibson before he went bonkers. Another film, revenge film I like. I do like my revenge films. I don't know why. I just think they're just very entertaining to me. I don't know. I think maybe I'm sick on it. And that is The Brave One, Jodie Foster. Very well acted, and Jodie Foster is fantastic in this. It's a slow burner. It takes a little bit of time to get going, but once it does, it's entertaining, and it's just a very good film. It's not fantastic, but it's good. Another comedy I absolutely adore. I mean, I love Jim Carrey. Not many of his films you can get on Blu-rays, older films anyway, and that is Bruce Almighty. The next one I plan to get is Liar Liar. Love it, but Bruce Almighty, great film. Very funny. Again, don't go into it expecting to be like, you know, a brilliantly acted and dramatic film, because it's not. It's very silly, very stupid, but if you're in that kind of mood, definitely worth it. Another who's this? A Spielberg film. I absolutely love this film. Again, I saw this cinema. Very well acted by DiCaprio and Hanks. That might give you an idea who it is, and that is Catch Me If You Can. I remember seeing this film and just sitting there and just entertained the whole way through. Just sitting there and just not wanting to get up. I mean, when this ended, I was gutted. I was thinking, I can't wait for this to come out on DVD at the time. So, very entertaining and enjoyable. Again, another film. It's a Schwarzenegger film. Another Schwarzenegger, but this ain't Terminator. This ain't Terminator. Again, it's very cheesy, but I like my cheesy Schwarzenegger films every now and then. It is. Again, a film I've only seen once. I have to check it out again. I have to see it on Blu-ray. I've only seen it on DVD, and that's Collateral Damage. Again, very cheap, so I thought I'd pick this up. I've got the DVD, and I thought I'll get this on Blu-ray. So I'm sure it'll look very good. Another film I love. Again, this is another revenge film. I do like them. Again, Kevin Bacon, and this is one of the films I actually got, which I'm going to reveal it now because I think he's already shown it in his video. It's a film I picked up for Rory, and that is Death Sentence. Excellent film. Kevin Bacon is fantastic in this, and it's from the director of Saw, I think. And again, it was a little bit different, so I enjoyed this at the time when it came out because you didn't get this kind of film. I've got the sequel. Well, it's not really a sequel. I've got the second film that this director's done. This is the one I've been trying to pick up for a while, but I always kind of forgot to pick it up. And it was a very good sci-fi film. Very good sci-fi film. Very entertaining as well. And I said entertaining. I'm saying entertaining and fantastic. District 9. What a film. What's his name? Is it Sharto Copley? Yeah, Sharto Copley or something like that. Is brilliant in this, and he's even better in Elysium, I think. But yeah, this is a very good film. A great sci-fi flick. You know, I didn't know what to expect with it when I first watched it. I think I got it from Love Film. Didn't know what to expect, and I was thoroughly blown away by it. Really enjoyed it. Another film I loved when I was a kid. You know, I think it was the whole Jerry Bruckheimer stage. You know, you've seen every film he seemed to produce at the time of those 90s. I just seemed to enjoy. Enemy of the State, Gene Hackman, Will Smith, and a Tony Scott film. Just again, this was a film. It wasn't full of action, but it was very clever, and I enjoyed watching it at the time. It was just what's the words? I liked the thriller element of it. It was good. It was different to see Will Smith in that because he was always in the big action films, and this kind of was a little bit of a departure for that for him. Next, Fargo. Love it. Great Coen Brothers film. Again, I've only seen this once or twice, so I'm going to have to check this out again because I did enjoy it, and I remember watching it and enjoying it because it's got Steve Buscemi in it. It's got William H. Macy. It's got a fantastic cast in this, and it's Frances McDormand, obviously. But yes, just a great cast, and it was a great film. Great film. Next is a film that I've quoted so many times with my friends. They'll probably remember just as many lines as I do, and I think we all remember it for quite a few of the main lines, and that is Fight Club. Fantastic twist at the end. Was not expecting it. Should have seen the signs coming. Should have. I think I was just too entertained to actually really pick up on it. And it was very, again, when you saw the trailer to this, you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to go see a film about fighting. Yeah, looking forward to this. And there was fighting in it, and then it changed, and it kind of was like, what? Where's this going? But a great film. Another one, because I've got the third one on 3D, and I just didn't have these two on Blu-ray. Again, picked this up for a very cheap price, and that is the Men in Black 1 and 2. 1 is always the best. 2, I think, is the poorest out of the 3. But yeah, Men in Black, the double pack, so it goes with my third Men in Black film. So I've got that all on Blu-ray now. Whew. I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can. I do apologise. Right. Next. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. They did a sequel to this called Get Into the Greek. Funny, but this much better, just because I like Jason Segel. He's a very good actor, and he seems to do a lot of very good comedies. He's, you know, they're not great comedies, but they're good. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I remember watching this and thinking, yeah, I like this. Let's go in my collection. I think this is another Scorsese. Yeah, I've got quite a few Scorsese films. Again, fantastic DiCaprio film. Daniel Day-Lewis and even Cameron Diaz in this is actually quite. We're saying that Cameron Diaz is a good actress, but I wasn't expecting her in this film to be very good, and that is Gangs of New York. Again, the cast in this film is phenomenal, and it's just a very well acted and thoroughly enjoyable film. I know it's like just under 3 hours long or something. Yeah, just under 3 hours long, but I do not ever think I was ever bored through this film. Great film. This is a film I love, and it's one of my wife's personal favourites. I think Greg has mentioned this is his favourite film. It's a good film. I wouldn't say it's the greatest film. Again, very entertaining for the vehicles and for some of the cast, because there are some good cast members in it. Gone in 60 seconds. Picked this up very, very cheap because I wanted it in the collection. I wanted it on Blu-ray, and I'm sure it looked fantastic in Blu-ray. So I do look forward to checking it out. Another film a lot of people have given a lot of flack for. Again, it's different. I like Liam Neeson. I think he's a great actor, and he's doing a lot of very different. Well, I say different. He's doing a lot of action films at the moment, but this, for me, was very different for him because it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a plane crash, and I think you're thinking I'm thinking it's non-stop now, aren't you? No, it's The Grey. Liam Neeson in this is amazing, and he obviously, it is mainly him in this film. There are obviously supporting cast, but he is absolutely amazing in this film. And when I watched this thinking, I really, really enjoyed this. The people I was watching it with didn't, because they thought it was boring. I didn't. I just enjoyed it. What it was a great script, well acted, and just an enjoyably different film for him. I think that's why I think they were expecting a big action film, and then this wasn't it. But this is a very good film. If you like well acted, well scripted films, check this out. Another one I picked up, quite a lot. Hancock, very entertaining, funny, and different kind of superhero film. Just because, well, if you haven't seen it, he's a drunk and destroys a lot of stuff before he actually becomes a big superhero. But great film. I did have the box for this, but it was damaged, so I decided to kind of get rid of it. I have got the other two in 3D. And I wanted the other 6 films in Blu-ray just to go with it, because I just think they would look good in Blu-ray, and that's the Harry Potters. So you've got Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, and the Half-Blood Prince. Again, all in excellent condition. These came in great condition. The box just wasn't. So if anyone's got a spare box, I'd love it, but I don't think you can get hold of that anymore. But yeah, Harry Potter's, I do enjoy these films. They're very childish at the start, but obviously they get much darker, much more entertaining for me anyway, from Prisoner of Azkaban, I think I enjoyed them more from that film anyway. Next film I got from eBay, second hand, very, very cheap. I think I paid like £2 for it. Mel Gibson. I haven't seen it. I've heard some different things about it, and I was looking forward to checking it out anyway, and that is How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to watching it because it looks like a typical Mel Gibson film back in his action heyday. So I'm looking forward to giving this a whirl anyway. So I'll let you know what I think in probably my next video. Next film I picked up is again a film I want. I'm trying to get all the Pixar films on Blu-ray. I've got most of them. I think I'm only missing A Bug's Life, Brave, and possibly one other. I can't remember. Anyway, this one is The Incredibles. Again, this doesn't get much of a recognition as some of the other films have, but it's just as thoroughly enjoyable. And if you haven't seen this film, definitely give it a whirl, because if you're into superhero films, you will enjoy this. It's definitely worth a watch. Pixar are just fantastic. I don't think they have gone very wrong. I think my son's back, so I do apologise for the noise. Yeah, he is back. I'll go open the door. But anyway, The Incredibles. I'll catch up with you guys in a second. But my son arrived home yesterday, and then I quickly realised I had to leave for work. So it's a new day, and I'm going to continue on with part 2 of my pickups. This is my CEX and second-hand pickups that I got over the last 2 months. So let's get straight into it, because I know it's going to be a long vid. So here we go. Next one, the Indiana Jones box set. It was quite cheap in CEX, and it was in perfect condition, and it came with the backing card as well. So I was really chuffed to get this, because I was expecting it to be damaged, and it is excellent condition. So that's what I was impressed with CEX about, because I didn't think, that's why I was always dubious about getting second hand. I always thought it'd be damaged, but no, perfect condition. Next film I picked up was Judd Apatow's follow-up to 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up. Very funny film. I know there's been a lot of heat behind it with regards to Katherine Heigl, but I still enjoy it, and it is a funny film. I can relate to it quite a bit at the moment, so it is a great film to watch. So if you haven't seen it, do check it out. What's next? Sorry about this, guys. I've mixed some up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Next one I picked up is a film I actually like. Not many people do, but I think it is quite a good gritty film, and a cracking shootout at the very end. That is Miami Vice. Obviously Heat, much better, but this is still quite enjoyable for me. I did enjoy the aspects of it and where they tried to go with it. I think if they'd done a little bit more action, I think it would have done a lot better at the cinemas, but still, enjoyable film and entertaining. Next I picked up is one of my favourite Stephen King novels, which was obviously converted into a film, because most of the films have, and that is starring James Caan and Kathy Bates. That is Misery. Absolutely phenomenal thriller. I remember watching this years ago and cringing at that scene. I think most people know what I'm talking about. It's a very cringeworthy scene, but it's a brilliant scene to have in it, and it is a brilliant film as well. Just the tension that you have just by him trying to escape the bed, and her walking around finding out that he's touched things and moved things. You know, she's that anal about it. It is amazing. And Kathy Bates completely deserved the Oscar for this. She was fantastic, and it really is a cracking thriller. If you have not seen this, I recommend you pick it up, rent it, watch Netflix if it's on there, or do something, watch it, because it is brilliant. Next up is another one for me. I love the first one, didn't really enjoy the second one, but enjoyed the third one. I think they brought it back to quite as flashy and savvy as it was from the first. It is a little bit referential, and it does a little, you know, get over bloated in the second one, but it's Ocean's Trilogy. Again, I do really enjoy the first one. I think it is a cracking heist movie, and it is very cleverly done. The second one wasn't too much. I think we all know why. It was that whole Julia Roberts scene. I just playing herself. I just thought they just did that to throw it in, because they wanted to make an excuse to do it. I don't know why they did it, but I just didn't enjoy it for that. But the third Ocean 13, sorry, it was a much better film, and obviously has Al Pacino in it, and who doesn't love Al Pacino? Ocean Trilogy. Next film I picked up was another good cop thriller, which I thoroughly enjoy. Not many people know much about it, but I think it's a great film, and that's Pride and Glory. Again, a very good cast. Edward Norton, Colin Farrell, I just think is a cracking actor. He does a lot of different films, and he's very good for it. And obviously the legendary John Voight. Brilliant film. It is pretty standard. You do know there's going to be a corrupt cop, and you do know there's going to be issues in there, and it's been done before, but I still really enjoyed it for what it was. And again, I'm glad to have it in the collection, because it was very, very cheap. So glad to get that. Next film is for you, Forker Ball. A few months ago, I said in my last video that, I was speaking to Forker Ball and said I funnily enough, don't have any Hitchcock films on Blu-ray. To his obviously disgust, I then said in my next video that I would obviously try and pick one up and put it in the next video I do, which has been this one. And I was umming and ahhing about certain ones, but I just wanted to get this one because I don't have it in my collection, and I wish I had. Because I remember seeing it years and years ago, and it scared the hell out of me just for one scene. And I think it's the same with most people for that one scene, because they weren't expecting it at the time, especially because of the character. This film is fantastic. It is a great horror film, and I will be picking up more Hitchcock Blu-rays. Eventually, I've got some on my wish list, so don't worry, Fuckable. They will be on there. But yeah, that is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It is just a fantastic film, obviously. Just all Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates is brilliant, and I do want to see the Bates Motel. I wish I'd recorded it, but I'll check that out another time. But yeah, this is a thoroughly enjoyable film. I'm not really into my black and white films, but I really did enjoy this because just the black and white gave it a different edge, I think, and it was a very good film. The remake obviously is very, very poor. It does star Vince Vaughn, who I really enjoy as an actor, but it's poor compared to this. This is the original. This is the best. Stick with it. Next film I picked up is another Michael Mann film, funnily enough. Not many people go on about it. I enjoyed it because I like the cast: Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, and Marion Cotillard, and that is Public Enemies, a great gangster film. You know, it's about John Dillinger, who was a very infamous bank robber, and obviously caused a lot of trouble back in America, back in the 30s, I think it was. If I've got that wrong, I mean, I'm sorry. I've only seen this once. But it's a very good film, very enjoyable, and I just think people should give this a try. Again, I think Michael Mann does do different films, and he gets a lot of flack for doing it. I think because people don't appreciate it. He can do some great set pieces, and the scripts are normally pretty good as well. So do give this a try if you haven't seen it. Next is another all-time favourite film of mine, Quentin Tarantino. I don't feel that there's been a better film. I know there are films I love of his, but I just think this is the best, and that is Pulp Fiction. Again, got this with the slipcover, not damaged at all. Excellent film. Fantastic cast. I remember watching this and thinking, geez, this cast is amazing, and you feel like they're not wasting any of the cast members they have. They all get a decent amount of screen time, and they all do a fantastic job in it. So if you haven't seen this, what are you doing? Watch it. Get it on there. Stick it in. Find it in the 3 for 20 or 5 for 30 or whatever it is in HMV. Up next is a film I'm very interested to see because I like the idea, I like the premise. Obviously, I don't think it would ever work in this society, and I hope it really doesn't because it would be hell. And that is The Purge. A few people have said a few different things about it. Again, it's my kind of thing. It's my kind of film. You know, I like that kind of idea of, you know, crime, you know, only being legal for a few hours. But obviously, it would never work, and it would be stupid. And obviously, I would never commit crime, so it'd be pointless for me. But I do like the idea of the film, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. And I know there's a sequel coming out as well, so I'll see how I feel about this before I watch the sequel. Next, this one is for you, Matticus Tattooi. Matticus Tattooi was always going on about foreign films in his videos, and he does some very interesting video reviews, film reviews, DVD reviews, Blu-ray reviews, whatever. He does some great stuff, and I mean, I'm not into my foreign cinema. You know, many people know that about me. I'm really not into it. But I've heard a lot of things about this, and I was really willing to give this a try. I haven't seen it yet, and I am looking forward to watching it because again, it's easing me in. It's a lot of action, not too much talking. I just don't think I can sit there with all the subtitles and it be a drama. I just don't think I can handle that for now. Maybe when I get older, even though I am already 30. But anyway, and that is The Raid. I know Matticus Tattooi didn't really enjoy this the first time. I'd like to know what you think about it after watching it the second time because I know you enjoyed the sequel. I'm looking forward to seeing the sequel. Again, I managed to pick this up with the slipcover, with 3D slipcover, which is good. Very cheap. Happy to have it in the collection. Again, mate, I hope your movie thing went really well. I'm gutted. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. It was my 30th, and I was in Liverpool with my family celebrating. So unfortunately, I would love to have been there, and you know, I would love to have given it a try. So I'm glad it went well for you. And if you do any more in the future, hopefully I can try and make it to them. I do live down in London, but we'll see. I will at least try anyway. Thank you again, mate. Anyway, next up, Real Steel. Another Hugh Jackman film that I really enjoy. Again, great family film. And Hugh Jackman plays a jackass in this, and you don't normally see him play a jackass much. So it was nice to see a different change for him, and he obviously learns that it's not all about the money and all that. So it's a great film, and it's definitely worth having in the collection because it is very good. I'm sure it looks. I haven't seen it on Blu-ray, so I'm sure it looks fantastic on Blu-ray. Next up, another Quentin Tarantino, another classic Quentin Tarantino film. I've been trying to pick up as many as I can of his. I think I've only got one more left, which is Jackie Brown, and that is Reservoir Dogs. There's not much I can really say about this film already that hasn't already been said. It is amazing. The script is fantastic, and just some of the scenes in it are brilliant. And I know it's not everyone's taste. I appreciate that. So hopefully, if you haven't seen it, do give it a try. You may like it. Who knows? Next is Role Models. A very funny comedy. I went to see it at the cinema a few years ago. Yeah, I do like Paul Rudd. I think he's a very talented comedic actor, and obviously so is Sean William Scott. He does pretty much do the same character in most of the films he is in, but still, those two together were fantastic in this, and there's some classic lines in this that I can't get out of my head. I really can't, but it's a good film. Worth a watch if you haven't already seen it. Another thriller for you, which again I enjoyed at the cinema. I think probably because I was a massive 24 fan at the time. Still am a 24 fan, and just because I had Kiefer Sutherland in it, I like him. And that is The Sentinel. Again, very formal. You know, there's not too many surprises in it. It is pretty standard that it's been done before. But again, the cast that they have, it's a very good cast, and they do very well with what they've got, and it is worth it. You know, stick with it. It's a good film, especially the ending. It's very good. Also up next is horror, which I have been saying I want to see for a long, long time. Haven't had a chance to pick it up. Finally got it the other day, or I say the other day, the other month, and that is Sinister. And I will be watching this in my annual horror movie month. So this will be watched, and I'll do a review on it if people want to see the review. If they don't, then fair enough. Anyway, I've heard a lot of different things. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It looks like it's going to freak me out a little bit because I'm not really into ghost horror films. I like my normal serial killer ones are just easier to take on, and I don't know why, because that's more realistic. And the horror one and the ghost ones aren't, because I don't believe in ghosts. I know that may be controversial for some, but I don't. Another cracking film to have in my collection. I remember seeing this a long time ago, and you know I wasn't expecting much because it was about Facebook, but it was just again the cast and the way it was done by David Fincher, The Social Network. I mean, Justin Timberlake in this is fantastic. You got the guy who plays Spider-Man. I can't. His name's just completely gone from my head. Andrew Garfield, I think it is. Yeah, Andrew Garfield. He's brilliant in this, and obviously you've got Jesse Eisenberg, who a little bit geeky, and you know I'm used to his routine now, but it's still very entertaining. Especially in this, he's very good, and he does it very well. Good film. Another comedy now, a comedy that I again thoroughly enjoyed, and that is Superbad. If you haven't seen this, this is not our generation. Our generation was American Pie, so the next generation's American Pie. I think it's just a very funny film, and if you haven't seen it, do give it a watch because it is funny. It's not gross out too much. There are a few bits in it you think, oh Jesus, but you know I grew up on American Pie, so I'm not bothered by it. Now, next up, these two I wanted to pick up just on second hand because they're not my favourite of the series, and I wanted the other two brand new. And this one I wasn't too fussed, and it came in good condition anyway. And that's Terminator: Rise of the Machines. Not the best, but it's okay. It's not a great film by all comparisons if you were putting it next to Terminator 2, but it's still good. It's got some good set pieces in it, and it continues the story on. Just I wish they kept the same actor, but I know Edward Furlong was going through a weird patch at the time, so he couldn't do it. The next one, obviously, if you don't know what that's going to be, is Terminator Salvation. Again, a lot of flack this film, and I enjoyed it. I like the cast. I like Sam Worthington. I like Christian Bale. And I liked what they did. They put it in the future. It was different. It wasn't, you know, sending someone back in time to kill one of the Connors. You know, it was set in the future, which we've been waiting to see. It could have been done better, but it was still decent enough. I mean, I'm not a fan of McGee as a director. He's pretty standard, really, to be honest. But this was decent enough. I think if he'd been allowed a bit more control, who knows where it could have gone. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to the fifth one. Next one is a remake. A remake of a film I've never actually seen. I've seen this version of it, which is John Carpenter's The Thing. Very, very good film. Very creepy. You know, I remember watching it younger, and it scared me because of the special effects. They were brilliant at the time. Obviously, they look a little bit dated now, but they were brilliant at the time. Great film, and I'm really glad to have this in the collection because I do enjoy this film. I'm looking forward to watching this again. The next film I picked up, funnily enough, I thought was a remake, and it isn't. It is actually a prequel to that, funnily enough, and that is The Thing. Again, I guess, yeah, it's The Thing, and it's not as good. Obviously, the special effects are better because they have the technology to do it. It will never compare to The Thing for me. The Thing is a fantastic film. This is decent enough. I think it's got some good ideas, and they threw some good stuff in there. it was a little bit too much like The Thing. And if they're saying it's a remake, then fair enough. If they're saying it's a prequel, then do something different. That's all they need to do. It was a little bit too much like it, but oh well. Good film though, and it's worth a watch if you haven't already seen it. A film I actually have watched. I hadn't seen it. I actually bought it and actually watched it, and it was very entertaining, very funny, stupid, but very funny. And I enjoyed it because it was just, again, something I just fancied watching for a change, and that is This Is the End. Great cast, all playing overblown characters of themselves, making themselves look like complete jackasses, which I like when actors do that. I like when they are happy to make fun of themselves. And, you know, every cast member in this does make fun of themselves, so it was definitely worth the watch, and it was funny. It was a little bit stupid towards the end. I was a little bit like, oh, they could have gone a different way with it, but oh well. It was still a good film, and it is worth a watch. If you haven't seen it, pick it up cheap from CEX or something. Another horror film I'm looking forward to seeing, I would say horror, it's probably a thriller more like, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I wanted to pick up, and that is Tremors. It stars Kevin Bacon, obviously. I don't know about if I want to see the other three, I think there is, but I'm interested in seeing this, and again, it was cheap, so I picked this up. Another comedy, I think the rest are pretty much comedies now, and that is Tropic Thunder. I remember watching this and cracking up. There were some very weird scenes in it, but it's a cracking film and very funny, and Ben Stiller does a great job with it, as do all the cast. Playing, obviously, thinking they're in an action film and they're actually in a real war. It was a different idea, and it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny, but other people may not. Another film I absolutely adore and I haven't seen in a long time, and I was so glad to pick it up, and very cheap as well, and that is The Wedding Singer. Well, probably for me, one of Adam Sandler's best films. I do like most of his films, apart from some of the newer ones like Jack and Jill and a couple of the others. I can't remember what he's done, but they're not. I don't find them as funny. This was very funny, very clever, and again the cast were good at the time, so it was definitely a win for me when I went and saw this. I think I was like 14, so it was good, and it was at the time when I was into stupid comedies. Next, I kind of picked this up for my wife because obviously she's pregnant, and we have seen it, and I don't mind it because I actually like the dads and I can relate to it, and that is What to Expect When You're Expecting. It is a pretty standard rom-com, to be fair, but the dads at the bottom make it. I mean, they're only in a few scenes, but they make that film. It is entertaining when you see it because you see yourself as a parent. I see myself when I'm with my mates and our kids because we're like, oh Christ, we just let them do stupid stuff and let's not tell the wives kind of thing. So, but it is a funny film and it is worth a watch anyway. The final film of this part, is Zack and Miri Make a Porno, another Seth Rogen film. And it is, I believe, a Kevin Smith film. I didn't know it when it was released, and then I watched it. I got it on DVD and watched it and realised, oh, Kevin Smith directed it. And it was obviously a departure from his View Askew universe, but a very good film and very funny. Again, a few actors willing to make complete fools out of themselves in it, and it was definitely worth it. And I was glad I picked this up because again, this is a good film. Right, that is my CEX or second-hand list that I picked up in the last 2 months. I know it's a long list, and I appreciate you guys sticking with it. I know this has been a long part of the video. We ain't got too much left. We've only got my part 3, which will be my birthday pickups for my 30th. I got birthday money, and a few people got me a few things. So I will show them to you in the next part. So I'll see you on the next part if you go to the next part. See you later.